Do you have a partner that is very different from you and you're wondering how you might work together effectively? Now, in this case, I'm talking partners at work or partners at home, but I'm mostly talking about in the business world. Do you have a person that you work with on a regular basis that is very different from you? When we are in this situation, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out people's Clifton Strengths profile and we are going to look at their talent themes and what do they have in common and what is different. Very often, we will find that if people are finding a lot of frustration working together because they feel like they approach things very differently, we're going to see that show up in their strengths profile. So I will give you an example. I worked with two people for a while who one of them had strategic, very high. Strategic is a thinking theme and it's all about seeing patterns. And usually they're pretty quick to go, oh, this is the solution. Oh, now we have some new information. This is the new solution. They jump to what the next idea is pretty quickly, right? And they were working with a partner who had deliberative. And deliberative is a talent theme that is very risk averse, very thoughtful. They want to consider every single risk and every single issue in this situation before they make a decision. So you can see how these two perspectives and ways of going about decision making were really in conflict with each other. What we did to help them get there is process this and really talk about what each of those talent themes brought to the decision making process, right? The answer was not for either one of them to jump on board with the way the other person made a decision. The answer was for them to make decisions together, taking advantage of both perspectives. So the person with strategic had to learn that the person with deliberative was going to see risks and issues they were going to miss, right? They were going to pick up on things that the strategic person might miss because they were moving really fast, right? And the deliberative person had to begin to understand that the strategic person was going to be able to make decisions quick enough that they could take advantage of things at the right time and not wait too long. And so over time, they really had to find a way to make decisions balancing both of those, right? And the way that we balance that, it does not mean, in this case, we're talking about decision making, that every single decision is now somewhere in the middle. Sometimes it means assessing how critical this decision is. Is this a long term, it matters a lot what decision we make, we have more time to make it, then we need to lean more into the deliberative person. Or is this a decision that making it quickly is more important than having considered every single thing, right? And in that case, we need to lean more to the strategic person. A lot of decisions are in the middle, and we need to take into account both perspectives. But that's one example of what it looks like to have two people who think very differently. But strengths gives us a language for each person to see how those different perspectives can be really useful and really helpful, and how those different perspectives can bring something to the table that they don't have. A lot of the research shows that the most effective teams are really diverse teams who have a lot of different experiences and talents and information coming into. The reason that is true is because those teams have more perspective, right? And more perspective, more different viewpoints leads to more effective decisions. So the same is true for partners. When we can help the partners really see what they're each bringing to the table and the value in that, rather than just getting caught up in bumping heads that you're thinking differently than me and I'm probably right. So a little bit of humility is the first thing, and then really starting to see what that other person is bringing to the table and what the value is in that can totally revolutionize your partnership and make it way more powerful than it would be if you continue to just butt heads. So I hope that's a helpful way to think about what you can do about really creating an effective partnership when you have two partners who are very different from each other.